Xavier Rudd with us in the Bing Lounge tonight at the Wonder Ballroom. Once again, thanks for coming back to Kink and bringing your vibe and your aura.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, every time I've seen you twice live, I've seen you 3 times with us at the station. Every time I hear your music and hear you play your music, I can't help but think I'm listening to something from your ancestral past. Is that what I'm hearing?
Interesting proposition. Yeah, I believe my music comes from well, you know, I don't know. Like I don't know in my little mind in this lifetime, but yeah, I have Aboriginal roots on my father's side, and I've always understood since I was a little boy that there was an old woman with me. I don't know who that is. Maybe my grandmother, my great-grandmother, I don't know. But I feel like there's a link there with my music. And yeah, I try not to involve my mind, you know, at all. Well, I don't involve my mind out of respect for that spirit, whatever that is, coming through. When music comes, I just let it happen, and I don't change it or alter it. I just let it happen.
Well, you've been able to work with some very eclectic musicians, especially on your latest Kunyam Sun. When you get that many different eclectic musicians all together, do they know what the focus of your album is going to be? Do you have to, or is it like a bunch of jazz cats just getting together and everybody can jam and it just turns out to be wonderful? Or do you kind of let them know exactly what sound you're looking for?
A little bit of both. Like Izintaba, Tio and Andy, who I recorded the last record with, they were the late Lucky Dubay's rhythm section for many years, and black South African cats. Grew up in apartheid, heavy life, heavy story, heavy spirit. Beautiful people. But everything they do has that story. Everything that comes out of them has that story, and it's very powerful to play with. So we came together, and yeah, I could, you know, I come with my culture, my world, my past, my story. They come with theirs, and we came together, and it was a very strong connection. And yeah, I would sort of direct things, you know, I write the music and direct sort of things and give ideas of what I hear, but like I was saying, they got a flavour that can only come from them, you know. Right. And they sing beautifully too in Xhosa and Zulu and Southern Sotho. So there was all this, you know, I would explain lyrically. I might even sing a line and explain lyrically what I mean by that in relation to the song, and then Andy would go away and translate it into Zulu and sing it back, and it'd be like way more beautiful than what I ever sang. You know, it was just like he'd be like, "Is that cool, man?" I'd be like, "Yeah." That's heavy, man.
No, you guys had a speaking relationship with that as well. Yeah. All right, well, last time we talked, of course, you're solo tonight, right? Yep, solo tonight at the Wonder, but you had told me before, I said, you know, you got to put everything out in front of you. You called it your crap. Yeah, I still bring my crap. Have we got all the stuff tonight?
Well, that's the thing. I toured America extensively with Tio and Andy last year, and we did, so as a band, as a 3-piece. But when I play with the band, I limit what I do a little bit. So people have been pretty intrigued. There's been a bit of talk about wanting to see me play solo again. And I haven't done that in the States for at least 5-6 years. And so, yeah, I do a lot more. I've got all my stuff, all my percussion, and I run bass lines, and I run, you know, I'm playing with my thumb, but, you know, it's all live.
If you've never seen it, it's simply phenomenal. It's a wonderful show. And we can get back to your music. I just got one more question. Well, first of all, maybe I've got 2. How does someone, you know, you're supposed to get a guitar, get 3 other cats, and do Rolling Stone covers, man. When did you know that wasn't where you were going with music? When did you know that you were unique and you were going to play your music your way?
Ever since I was a little boy, music just always came through me. Before I even knew what I was doing, I guess I was writing songs. Like as a little kid, I was always pretty sensitive, and I'd always always be singing little stories about what was happening around me, you know, just to myself, not to anyone else. And essentially my songs now are the same thing. They come from the same place. And they're just as intimate, you know. It's become a career now, and I have this whole business and public thing attached to it, but the music still comes from the same place. And I did that right up for years and years and years, and then I'd sort of grab a guitar and taught myself sort of, and, you know, made them more like songs. But I didn't play for anyone for a long time, and it was always my own thing. It was just my own thing that I did on my own, and it was kind of private. I didn't want to show anyone that stuff. And eventually some people encouraged me to play my music, you know, to play those things for other people. So I started to, and I got a good reaction, and that was about 12 years ago now, I guess, or more, 14. And I've been touring internationally for about 10.
This one's a little bit more personal. I've got a son who is very much into music too, but to rebel against his rock and roll father about 6 years ago, took up the tuba, and now he's taken up the didge, and the beeswax mouthpiece. He's all into it. He's got as much. One piece of advice. This is going to be on YouTube. One piece of advice from my son, a young didge starter. Anything? Learn circular breathing.
Well, what he should know is it's traditionally called yidaki.
Okay.
Didgeridoo came from white people when they came to Australia, from the sound that it makes. Didgeridoo, you know, it comes from that. But yidaki was the man who found it somewhere around 60,000 years ago in very top northeast. You know, Australia's got the point and the Cape, and then it goes around like that, and then there's the bubble on the top. On the northeast side of that bubble is where yidaki's from. It only came from that place, and over time it sort of got traded up in the north, but the cultures in the south never used it. But now it's become a message stick for the whole culture. That's important information. The next part of what I would say to him is it's a time instrument, yidaki. You know, it's fairly straightforward to get the tone down. And the breathing, you know, the circular breathing comes after a while. But to play the thing fast and percussively, it's time. Like, you got to just expand your diaphragm. So
I appreciate that very much, my man.
So just play lots. Just sit under a tree and play.
All right. Well, let's go see the man. He's at the Wonder tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please, once again in our Bing Lounge, Xavier Rudd.
Thank you.